So how do you include OKRs in your reward system? It's actually pretty straightforward. So let's imagine that there are three general bands in your compensation model. One is just a hard formula based, a certain percentage of retained earnings, whatever that might be. Second, something that's based on OKRs. And thirdly, based on behaviors. So the formula based is just simply whatever pool you choose to allocate and a formula to allocate that out. The reward based on OKRs is more about a conversation about the actual performance. And so this is where the reality and the tough training for your leaders come in, because the idea is maybe, using the Google example of a 70% performance is still good. Maybe given that market, that economy and situation, 70% is awesome. Or maybe 120% is awesome. So we need to take in consideration the economy, your business situation, all sorts of external things, as well as the initial assumptions that were made when we set those performance targets. So it's a conversation. You can't use a formula based like in the black section above. Now, within the reward-based OKRs, we understand that there's an element of individual OKRs, and some people advocate that. Personally, I'm not a big fan of that. I think the majority of our reward structure should be based on how you perform within the team. I want to encourage people to work as a team player, not an individual player. And so those are team objectives or team-based key results, and we all participate in what that looks like. There's still an individual component, but now it does change, obviously company by company, department by department, situation by situation. But think of those in that framework. And then finally, the reward based on behaviors is we want to make sure that we don't get that reward, the OKR performance, at the expense of our values and our culture. So we need a component that makes sure that I've lived within the culture and values. That's typically done by an instrument like a 360. But there are a number of other behavior-based tools that we can use that make them into objectives and key results. I've got other videos that talk about that. I call it HR by the numbers. But that is how we set up a performance structure that includes OKRs.